Welcome to the Good Parent, Bad Parent podcast by Kenneth and Kenneth, where we discuss everything that pertains to parenting and life in general. Let's start the show.
Welcome to the Good Parent, Bad Parent podcast by Kenneth and Kenneth. I'm your host, Kenneth.
And I'm your host, Kenneth.
Today, what are we talking about today, Kenny?
Oh, man, there's so many topics that we can talk about. But, one thing that I was thinking about, just for everyday people is how important is work-life balance?
Ooh, that's a good
How
one.
important is work-life balance?
Very important, right? I would say because, we're talking about people that have families and things. Well, even if you don't have a family, it's very important for your own mental well-being and your own health, to make sure that there's a balance and that you're not spending every second working. Right, Kenny?
I think everybody's going to agree on this, which I think it's extremely important. If we're talking on a scale of 1 to 10, it's 10. Work-life balance is extremely important.
I would agree.
I mean, it improves health. I mean, you can't be effective at work if you don't have balance at home.
Exactly.
Right? If you don't have work-life balance, I mean, you treat everybody better. You get a greater life satisfaction. You got time to take care of yourself physically, eat healthy, and you're just overall happier. And I believe that you perform better on your day-to-day. So yes, extremely important. A 10.
Absolutely. Let me ask you a question. What percentage of people do you think, like if you had to guess, what percentage of people would you guess work their dream job, like a job that they wanted to have when they were a child?
Oh,
Like how when I grow up, I want to be this or that. How many people do you think actually make that achievement?
I've never thought about that percentage, man. I would say, as people are children and grow up to be adults and they go into their professional work life, I would say maybe 10% of people.
It's pretty generous, Kenny.
That actually live, not 10%, people that live out their dreams.
That's pretty generous. Well, according to Google, labor statistics show that 96% of adults are not working the job that they dreamed of as a child. Only 4% managed to get a childhood dream job. However, 64% still dream about starting a career track in their childhood dream job.
Okay.
So
4%.
Yeah, so 96% of all people are just working to make money and are probably miserable.
So what's that mean, though?
It means that 96% of the workforce are only working to make money. They're not working for fun or they're not working for enjoyment. They're doing it simply to make money. If this 96% were millionaires, most of them would probably quit their current job.
And then, okay, then what percentage of those people, that 96%, what percentage has work-life balance, you think?
I would say, if I had to guess, about 50%, maybe less, maybe like 20.
Have figured it out to have work-life balance and
Right.
enjoy going to work, enjoy taking vacations, and just living life in peace, living in peace.
Very few people can accomplish that. I mean, when I look at things and I talk to young people, they're like, listen, we're staying home until we're 30 and 40 years old because we can't afford it, right? And this younger generation, they're not like, okay, I'm going to do like our parents and our grandparents and work, and then die. They're like, wait a minute, I want to enjoy life. I want to have fun. So these young people, they're pretty smart. They're like, listen, I'm not going to work myself to death for a company that only sees me as a number. So This younger generation, they're kind of pushing more towards work-life balance and making work enjoyable. Our generation, we were like, okay, you pay us this, okay, I'll do it.
They say, here are some signs, right,
Mhm.
of poor work-life balance. Like, what are the signals for poor work-life balance? Well, obviously, you're exhausted. You're tired majority of the time. Irritable,
Mhm.
right? Just got an attitude all the time, just angry,
Right.
right? And then which a lot of people don't realize, your immune system, right? You're sick.
Mhm.
You get sick all the time.
Right.
Like some people get sick once a year, twice a year, but people who have poor work-life balance, their immune system is a lot weaker, and you get sick a very high percentage of the time, and your anxiety runs high, and you got massive mood swings. Those are the signs of what I'm looking at here of poor work-life balance.
Right. Now, what is your take on people working from home? Some people like coming into the office, but I know for me personally, I like working from home better than actually going into an office.
I get mixed reviews on that as well. Like there's some people say they can't work at home. They don't feel productive when they work at home, too much distraction. And then there's some people that's saying that they absolutely love working at home because they don't really feel like they're working. You know, you ever see the guys, I got a buddy, that I play golf with that he wear the suit up top and nothing at the bottom.
Right. Yeah. That's comfortable.
He's enjoying his life. Yeah. I was going over to his house. I was like, where all the pants to your suit jackets right there? He's like, oh man. He's like, he said, that's the way my camera's set up. I said, man, you love working from home. He said, yeah, I love it. I love it.
Yeah, same here. I find myself to be more productive when I'm working from home because I assume that someone's watching me. So I end up doing more work at home than I do in the office. That's the honest truth.
Gotcha. I'm more of a, I like to be hands-on. I could say that I'm the opposite. I've never worked at home, just sitting there at home because I don't work office jobs. I'm out there, right? So I would rather be active. I'd rather be physically out somewhere making money.
Right. Nah, I mean, I get that. It's just that with this whole new thing that Google has created, this new environment that everyone is in this open space in each other's faces every second, for some people are a little bit introverts and, they really don't want to have everyone just right next to you in your space, in your face every single second of the day for the entire day. Some people like spaces. Yeah. Like whenever we, first got into corporate back in the 90s and stuff, people had offices, people had space. It was spaced out. You kind of had a little bit of privacy, but now, everyone's trying to copy Google. And it's just this open workspace and everyone is together every second. And, you got to deal with people coughing, people sneezing, all kinds of things going on there that for me personally, I'd rather work from home.
Let me ask you, what do you think provides better work-life balance, right? To me, I disagree with 40 hours, right? I disagree with it. I think 40 hours a week is just too much, and I think that, like, do you believe those people who say, oh, I worked 60 hours this week, or I worked, 100 hours in the last 2 weeks, and they made a lot of money. So they got the houses, they got the cars, they got the life, but they overworked. Like, I'm not a fan. What do you think?
You can thank Henry Ford for that because they said that he's the one who kind of helped shape the 40-hour work week. In this current environment, with everything being so expensive, you have to work real hard to make ends meet. People have to work 1 and 2 jobs just for basic things, food, shelter, and rents have gotten so out of hand that people can't afford it. So there's no balance. Everyone is just trying to simply survive, and you got to work hard to make enough money to just afford basic things, and that's pretty crazy. I'm not trying to criticize our government, but, something has to change so that things can be more affordable for this new generation that's coming up under us because at this rate, I don't see how they'll make it because they're being priced out. They just can't afford it.
I don't remember how long ago it was that I watched, it was Dolly Parton, I think. She was just doing an interview or something, and I was watching, and she had a quote on there, and that stuck with me for a long time. She said something like, never get so busy making a living that you forget to make a life. Yeah. And that stuck with me because I'm just like, that's true. Never get so busy making a living that you forget to make a life. You hustle your whole life, and by the time it's time to enjoy that life, run out of time.
I have a quote, from a song. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
Take this job and shove it. I ain't working there no more. That was
he said, you want to hear it?
Well, like to hear it. Here it go. Exactly. That joint. But, and I understand why. Look, right, I don't gamble, but this lottery jackpot is like at 1.1 billion or something. People are lining up, playing, putting in hundreds. I mean, people are spending money like crazy. And I do understand because everyone wants to quit work. That's everyone's primary goal that plays lottery is to quit work, right? It doesn't mean that they'll stop doing everything. It means that they'll stop going to their 40-hour-week job. That's everyone's biggest dream.
That's the biggest dream,
right? That's the biggest dream, to go in Monday morning and say, hey, I'm done with all this nonsense. I'm done. Push your little computer monitor over and walk out.
Just start packing up. Everybody, where you going?
Pack up. Let me tell you something.
I'm done here, man.
Do you think somebody who won $1.1 billion is going to pack up? You'll probably be lucky if you get a phone call.
Yeah.
Right. They aren't saying anything.
Yeah, I wouldn't even come back.
Exactly. Now, let's talk about, as far as work-life balance, when it comes to raising children, should you encourage them to follow their dreams, or should you kind of give them that realistic view to tell them, hey, I understand what you're trying to do, but, you might want to look at a certain occupation? Like, how do you create that balance for your kids so that you can kind of guide them in the right direction?
Especially when nowadays, I'm a dream chaser. So, I'm all for chasing your dreams, but I would say, like, always have something that can provide that space, right? So have something stable, work, make money, so you can actually push to chase that dream. Like I was sharing with you before, like when I started off in my music career doing all that stuff, my dad was happy that I was doing something that I liked, but he gave me that look and he said, save your money for a rainy day and don't quit your job.
That's real, bro.
and that always stuck with me. So I was able to chase my dream from having a job. So I would teach my kids the same. I say, look, whatever you choose to do and you want to, you're going to have to nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's coming to help you. So you better make sure you find some type of balance to work a job that doesn't overwork you and allows that little window for you to chase your dreams. So,
yeah, that's funny because my dad said the same thing. He was like, I can appreciate what you're doing, but have a backup plan. And he was right because, I started eating steak, started getting a fat neck, because I was eating good. I was living good, but if I didn't, I would have been a starving artist and would have been skinny as a skeleton because I wasn't eating, and there's no one that's going to help you. Like when you're out there, you got to most certainly make sure that you have some sort of a backup plan. But this does not apply to everyone, okay? There are some people that are exceptional and that if they create a backup plan, they're planning to fail, okay?
Right.
And they'll end up using that backup plan too early. And then that kills their dream. There are some people that are the exception. But for most people out there, have a backup plan. Absolutely.
What do you think about, like, when they say don't put all your eggs in one basket, right? Like, what do you think about those people? Like, nah, it ain't no plan A, B, C for me. It's just only plan A. All or nothing.
Well, what I would say about that is that only certain people are born with just these amazing abilities that are beyond normal, that they're going to make it either way. Right. But that's not typical. So you have to understand and know if you're that person or if you fall into that category.
And everything's a risk anyway. I would just say take calculated risks.
Exactly. Well, I mean, really, the time to experiment is when you're a kid. All right. And that's for the people that have parents that have resources that you can say, hey, mom and dad, I want to play drums, and they can actually buy it for you. Or, hey, I want to play piano, and they can actually get you a piano and get you piano lessons and guitar lessons and everything else, But if you can't afford it, just do everything you can to kind of learn, join a band or do whatever you can. Remember, I was telling you that Mark Zuckerberg, that his dad loaned him $100,000 to help get his business up and running. And that was taking a major risk because he was just starting out and pioneering something new. And his dad could have lost that $100,000, but he didn't.
Right.
It worked out.
Yeah. And then, and listen to your mamas. Listen to your mama, and she'll tell you if your music is good. She will tell you if it's no good or if it's good when you're following your dreams.
That plus your friends, right? Because your friends will most likely keep it real. If it's trash, they'll be like, bro, I love you, but that's trash, bro. Like most friends will keep it real.
Like, that ain't it, bro. That ain't it.
Exactly. Did you want to hear what AI said as far as encouraging people and your children and everything like that?
Let's hear it.
Okay. It said, yes, you should encourage and support your children to follow their dreams, but not force them to follow your own aspirations or dictate their choices. Fostering their passions help build confidence and resilience, leading to a more fulfilled and successful life. The key is to guide them in pursuing their interests, providing emotional support, and helping them to develop confidence and skills to navigate challenges while also discussing realistic expectations and the importance of responsibility. However, this may lead to your child being a bum on your couch or never leaving home, thus forcing you to support your little loser for the rest of your life.
AI didn't say that, man. That's
Nah, that was me, bro.
I'm like,
AI said
nah,
everything
man.
except for the last sentence. All right, that was me.
So quick question.
Mhm.
Work-life balance. What, because I mean, I think some people need to hear this, right? So when we talk about work-life balance, we say those words and everybody's got their own mind, like what that means. But in your opinion, what is work-life balance, right? Like, what is that actual balance? How much work? How much life? How much balance? What is it?
Work-life balance to me is being able to do things that make you happy along with the things that do not. A lot of people, most people don't enjoy work, but you understand that you have to do it, but you have to create a balance so that you can take care of yourself, take care of your health, take care of your family, and the different obligations and things that you have to do, but you should also allow for time and resources to do the things that you want to do. Life shouldn't just be always doing what you have to. It should be doing what you want to also. There has to be a balance. But
Well said,
yeah,
man.
you
Well
know how
said.
things
Well said.
currently are is very hard.
So prioritize, right?
Yes,
You're saying like, prioritize your work, and your life, and then balance those between the two so you can keep a good, healthy state of mind. And
exactly.
consistently do that year after year. Got it.
Like, for example, right? I got a list of a couple things that people should strive to do. Number one, spend time with your significant other. How important do you think that is?
Extremely important.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right.
Got to spend time.
The next one, spending time with your kids. That's very important too, right?
Equally as important, if not less.
Actually, I know a guy who said that he's so stressed from work that no one in his family can talk to him for 2 hours.
Yeah,
That
I've heard that.
when he comes home, no one can speak to him. He has to sit down, de-stress, come down, and get his head in the right space to deal with people. You should never be in that space. Your job should not affect your family life on that level to a point that no one can approach you until you de-stress. I think that that's a bit much.
Depends on what the job is, I guess.
No, just
And
any stress
how
is
much
stress.
money. Yeah, you got to make some changes.
Yeah. Number 3, don't put work before family. I understand that we have to make money. That's obvious. But if you die, your job will replace you. Isn't that right, Kenny?
Instantly.
Absolutely.
They don't even give you a 2-week notice when they want to let you go.
Nope.
And you're supposed to give a 2-week notice.
Exactly. So number 4, don't break your promises. Kids remember that for a lifetime. Is that true, Kenny?
Do not break your promises. Somebody told me one time, he said, all a man has is his name and his word.
Yeah, that's
That's
real.
it. That's the only things you own right there. Your name and your word.
Absolutely. Number 5 is treat others like how you would like them to treat you. A lot of people, they're one-sided. They can only think of themselves, and they treat people differently than how they want to be treated. And that's wrong. You have to treat people like how you want them to treat you. If you want respect, well, then show it. Right,
And
Kenny?
you can always notice those people too, right? So the people that are like that, you
Mhm.
can always tell that they're well respected. They're well liked. People respect those people that treat others the way that they treat themselves or they want to be treated. They're easy to spot out.
Right. Now, number 6, talk to your family about what's important so you have an understanding, because a lot can get lost in translation. So that's sitting down with your wife or your significant other and your children and saying, hey, what's important to this family? What makes this family happy? Let's talk about it. Let's discuss it. You want to take a trip? Where? When? Let's talk about it. Let's start making some plans. That's important. A lot of people don't do that.
And the best part is when that happens naturally, over dinner or just talking, and these conversations come up without it being thought out or planned. You just realize that you just started talking about what's important to everybody. and communicating what makes people happy and stuff like that. That's strong. Yep.
Number 7, be kind to yourself. So many people beat themselves up to make money and provide. Some people are so busy taking care of everyone else that they forget to take care of themselves.
Pooh, that's a heavy one. I know that's going to resonate with a lot of people.
Absolutely.
You get caught up in life and you work so hard and you making sure that everybody has what they need. And you look at yourself in the mirror one day and say, I don't even have what I need.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So everyone out there, just try to follow these steps and just be kind to yourself. I know a lot of you are out there, under stress. You're working, you're trying to pay the bills. Everything is expensive and crazy, and you're doing your best. Just, keep fighting. Don't give up. And just know that if nobody out there cares about you, we care about you.
We care.
Here at the Good Parent, Bad Parent podcast by Kenneth and Kenneth. In closing, do you have anything else that you want to share with our audience, Kenny, before we go?
I think you said it all there, brother. Definitely want to hear your thoughts, want to hear what everybody else feels on some of these topics. So go ahead and send your information in.
Right. There are 2 links below. There's a link for usingmyvoice.com, which gives you instructions. It takes you to our webpage that gives you instructions on how you can share information on our channel. There's also a Dropbox link so that you can drop videos in there or anything that you want us to share on this show. So, in closing, we appreciate each and every one of you, and we'll talk to you next time. Kenny?
Remember, your story could be somebody else's breakthrough.
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
Peace.
Thank you for watching the Good Parent, Bad Parent podcast by Kenneth and Kenneth. Click the link below for instructions on how to share your story on our show. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.